Around the Ozarks is now on your FM radio. Listen to Around the Ozarks mornings with Grace Gooley as I spotlight local people, stories, and podcasts, all while playing the country legends of the 90s and the hit makers of the 2000s. It's on the Ozarks Best Country, 105.1 The Bull. It's time for Around the Ozarks News, brought to you by the Springfield Greene County Park Board, Thompson Sales, Kitchen Land USA, Advanced Car Care, Smouse Brothers, and United Plumbing. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
Hi there. Good morning to you on Monday. I hope you had a fantastic weekend, and we're going to start another work week in the year 2026. Get used to it. We're going to do a lot of this.
Here we are. Springfield-based Valiant Group is considering buying the controversial corner at Sunshine and National, owned currently by BK&M. CEO Josh Manning says that he was approached by the current owner, who is looking to step away after a years-long dispute about what to put at that corner and many lawsuits with the neighbors who live nearby. Manning is planning to meet with the University Heights Neighborhood Association tomorrow to gauge support, or potentially the lack thereof. No deal has been signed, but Valiant says if it moves forward, the property would be used only for housing. That would likely give the neighborhood what they were hoping for.
Well, then the question is, what kind of housing?
Yeah.
And I don't know that they would like apartments, so I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go. I don't know what his plan is, but it seems like a step in a direction that they would appreciate.
All right. We'll find out. The Greene County Commission has officially adopted its 26 budget, totaling $262 million. That's about $3.3 million more than last year, with pay raises and election costs driving up much of the increase. The sheriff's office receives the largest boost, followed by the county clerk and the prosecutor's office. The county says not all funding requests could be met, but people and public safety remain their top priorities.
All right. And tonight, the Springfield City Council is expected to consider putting a revised hotel tax on the April ballot, going back on the ballot, it seems. The proposed 3% tax would fund a downtown convention and event center that the city's been talking about a lot over the last several months at the current expo site. So it would be kind of connected to the expo center. Unlike last fall's failed measure, this version of the tax would expire after 35 years and would include operations and maintenance. The city says some feedback shows that voters may support the idea if they have more details about it. And I know a lot of people didn't want the tax to be, in perpetuity. So a sunset may be something that people are more apt to agree with. But at any rate, the council will talk about it tonight, but it's likely going to show up in April. If I were a betting man.
I think you're right about that. I feel like for the fact that we're still talking about it says to me, yes.
Yeah, and make some minor adjustments and try it again. Construction is now underway. This is a neat story on the new St. Louis Children's at Cox Health Specialty Care Center in Springfield. The 133,000 square foot facility located on East Primrose is set to open next summer, so not in 26, but in 27, over the summer there. It will bring specialized pediatric care under one roof for Cox Health. It will reduce the number or the need, I should say, for families to travel out of the region to get that kind of care. The project is backed by a partnership with Washington University and a $5 million private donation.
Okay. The Missouri Department of Conservation is asking for help solving a poaching case in Carter County. An adult bull elk was illegally shot and left to waste at Peck Ranch Conservation Area, I should say, in late November. They do believe that this was a deliberate act, not a hunting mistake. Operation Game Thief is offering a $15,000 reward for information on that case that leads to a conviction.
That's a pretty big deal. I mean, I know they're trying to bring elk back to the state of Missouri, and you can't just shoot them.
No, especially an adult bull elk,
Right.
because
Right.
trying to pre-populate. The owner of Springfield's Hotel of Terror is turning in thousands of signatures to fight up against eminent domain. As you remember, Sterling Mathis says that he wants to move forward with that. He's collected 2,400 signatures so far, which is more than was required. The city, as you know, wants to buy that property to knock it down and replace a deteriorating bridge as part of the Renew Jordan Creek project. They say that it is in poor condition and they have to tear down the Hotel of Terror in order to replace it. City officials have 20 days to verify the petition signatures before the issue returns to council or goes to voters.
Yeah, they can't. They just can't. The owner and the city can't agree on a number because initially, I think they offered him $2 million for the building. He said he looked into it, and by the time he would relocate to a different building and get all set up, it would cost him $4 million. So he wants quite a bit more from the city than they're willing to offer. So here we are, a bit of a stalemate.
I didn't remember the millions. I just remembered them offering, obviously less than what he thought it was worth. So, I mean, I guess it's actually hard to move your clientele, That's a tough.
Well, I mean, he's got to take into account starting from scratch somewhere else and all of that. So, I mean, I don't know where he got his numbers, but that's what he's sticking to, and the city is sticking to theirs. So, what do you do?
Yeah. Lake Ozark is moving forward with a major cleanup of the Bagnell Dam Strip after receiving a $300 state grant. The Community Development Block Grant will help pay for demolishing 23 long, vacant, and unsafe buildings in the area. All of the properties are owned by Reese Development, which is contributing an additional $133,000 to that project. City leaders say the demolitions will improve safety and clear the way for future redevelopment. Work is expected to start sometime this year.
Yeah, that's a downside about kind of touristy places is that when stuff gets run down, people just leave town and leave it, and you're kind of stuck with it. So to clear that out and make way for new development,
someone would be interested in that. I mean, with as popular as of an area that is.
You would think. You would think once they spruce it up. Missouri lawmakers proposing what is really a symbolic change to the state's official football team. You know where this is going. You know where this is headed. It's souring as we speak. The relationship is. The resolution would honor the St. Louis Battlehawks.
Never even heard of them. I've lived in Missouri for 18 years. Never heard of them.
They're in the XFL, which is a different league. I think is it still the XFL? I think it's.
I don't know, but the fact that you're actually asking the question says everything you need to know.
Yeah, well, they are a second-tier football team, but they could be Missouri's official football team. That, of course, because the Kansas City Chiefs are planning to move to Kansas. That'll happen fairly soon. The measure does not create law or spend any money, so it is symbolic. It reflects the frustration many Missouri lawmakers and people in Missouri have over the Chiefs' decision to move states. It would need approval from both chambers of the legislature as well as the governor to take effect. So we'll see if it does. I doubt it. When the Chiefs leave, the Battlehawks will be Missouri's only professional football team because St. Louis lost the Rams years ago. And now the Chiefs are moving across state lines. Of course, they'll still be in Kansas City. So. And then this is a big week. I love this weekend that's upcoming because it's the Bass Pro Tournament of Champions. It's going to tip off Thursday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday are games. And man, the teams are stacked this year. This year's field includes 5 of the nation's top 8 high school basketball teams. Think about that.
That's cool.
5 of the nation's top 8 basketball teams are in Springfield this week. They will be playing in the strongest field ever for the Tournament of Champions. When they've been doing it, I think this is 41 years, I think, something like that. A couple of local schools will be in the mix. Good luck to them. Kickapoo and Logan Rogersville will be representing our area in the Tournament of Champions. It is not going to be easy for them to win it all. In fact, the last time that happened was 2005, our first year, Sarah and me, to be in Springfield. As a year we each moved here separately and then met at KY3.
And then married?
It was a good year.
Had babies?
It was a good year.
Oh, man.
2005.
It's a good year.
Been here 20 years. More than that now. We're working on our 21st.
Gosh. That's crazy.
It is crazy. Yeah.
Oh, man. I never planned to stay here. And look at me now. Look at me now.
Well, in TV, especially in the early days of TV when we were in it, it had just been invented, and it was a very nomadic business. You didn't start in a market like Springfield, even though it's a mid-sized market. You started someplace really small, and you worked your way up to a Springfield, and then eventually to a St. Louis or Kansas City. The times have changed in TV. It's different now, but alas, those were the stories that we tell.
Yes, the stories that we tell, the good old days, as it were.
Yeah, we had dinner with Ned and with Lisa, and their significant others. Not last week, the week before, and it was great. We were just, you talk about the good old days and the way it used to be.
Yeah,
the way it used to be, and all the fun stories that we had. It was a great time and awesome to see them.
Yep. Very fun. Very fun. All right, folks. Thanks for tuning in and for taking the trip down memory lane with us. We'll be back here tomorrow with news and weather with Abby Dyer right after this. So stay tuned for that. Have a fantastic day.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, brought to you by Command Family Medicine, Heating and Air Paramedics, The Trailer Ranch, Hewitt Messenger, and Taylor Grubaugh Chevrolet. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to your Monday. I hope everybody had a great weekend across the Ozarks. Weather-wise, yes, it was a little bit colder, but we had the sunshine at least. No hazards to worry about over the weekend. And now we are waking up mostly sunny with temperatures that are cold. Numbers are starting out below freezing this morning, about 28 here in Springfield, but it will end up being a rather nice day. I'm looking at a high temperature near 57 degrees in Springfield. So overall, things are looking up for us as we head into the first couple of days this work week. A warming trend is what's in store for us today and tomorrow before yet another cold front heads our direction. A strong south wind is going to set up, though, and that may increase our fire risk as we head into the next couple of days. So a couple of hazards to talk about for you in the upcoming week and some twists and turns around the corner as well. Today, at least at first, we'll focus on the warmer temperatures that are in store for us this afternoon. It's cold. You need all the winter layers this morning, including hats and gloves for the kids as they head off to school. But by this afternoon, you won't need them. It's one of those days to dress in layers because a light jacket may serve you well by this afternoon with a high temperature pushing 60 degrees later in the day. It's a gradual warm up that we see, but better than yesterday. It was a pretty cold day across the Ozarks on Sunday. Today, not much in the way of weather patterns affecting the Midwest. We have high pressure in control. That means full sunshine, and we're going to hold on to these sunny skies several days this week. In fact, there's a lot of sunshine in the forecast in the 7-day. Tomorrow, I do see the gusty winds sneaking back into the forecast, and the winds are likely going to be out of the southwest, 10 to 20 miles an hour, maybe gusting even higher than that. So tomorrow, I think there's at least some risk for some elevated fire weather conditions. Not a great choice for open burning, even though we have the warmer temperatures. You might want to get out, do some yard work, hold off on the burning, because I think that the fire weather is going to be elevated in the area on Tuesday. We then have cooler weather that arrives. This happens for the middle of the week and the end of the work week forecast. We will notice a drop in temperatures with highs falling back into the 40s as early as Wednesday. Today, it's sunny and warmer. High temperatures in the upper 50s. Tuesday, even warmer with highs likely to make it into the 60s. Cooler again by Wednesday with another frontal boundary on the way. Highs will be knocked down into the 40s and 50s on Wednesday. And by Thursday, we are still looking at high temperatures in the 40s. Across the country, what's making headlines for the start of the new week? Well, it's rain and snow over the Great Lakes and the Ohio Valley region through Tuesday. We also have some coastal rain and some higher elevation snowfall back in the forecast for parts of the Pacific Northwest, but it's pretty tranquil for most on this Monday across the U.S. Conditions are likely going to be a little bit more dicey as we get closer to the weekend forecast. Some models are indicating that we could even see some wintry weather by Friday and Saturday. I'm keeping a close eye on it. It's not been consistent enough to quite believe yet, but I'll definitely let you know if there are any changes in the forecast as we get closer to the coming weekend. All right, it's time for the Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister trivia question for the day. And the question that I left you with on Friday was this. In Ozarks weather lore, what does the proverb, March comes in like a lion and goes out like a lamb, generally refer to? Do you think it means A, a windy start with a calm end, B, a stormy or cold start with a mild end, C, a dry start with a rainy end, or D, a foggy start with a sunny end? If you chose B, you would be correct. In like a lion means stormy or cold start, and out like a lamb means a mild end to the weather pattern. All right, here is the trivia question that I'll leave you with for tomorrow. Remember, this is for $25 to Chicken Salad Chick, so enter for free if you've got a guess. What does Ozarks folklore say about hearing thunder in winter, like the recent storms that we had earlier this month? Do you think it means A, that spring is coming early, B, that it will snow in about 10 days, C, it predicts a mild winter overall, or D, it signals the end of a cold winter? Hearing thunder in the winter in the Ozarks. What does folklore say that means? Take a guess. You can find those questions and submit your guesses at the website that's aroundtheozarks.com. Thanks so much for joining me this morning on Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, and a big shout out to our sponsors, Command Family Medicine, Heating and Air Paramedics, The Trailer Ranch, Hewitt Messenger, and Taylor Grubaugh Chevrolet. Thanks so much. Have a great day. We'll be back to chat early tomorrow.